welcome back to the channel. So happy you guys decided to join us. So today for Vlogmas, I'm gonna break out of our vlog style videos and actually do a tips and tricks video for you guys. So we all know, if you don't, now you know, I'm gonna tell you what this channel is about. It's about Black love, marriage, family, everything that me and Carrie are about in our everyday lives, and we just decided to share it with you. Also our home ownership journey. So this is our very first Christmas in our home, if you guys do not know. So we're excited to spend all of it with you guys. There are a couple of videos that I think might be essential for the holiday season. So as many of you may know, the holiday season, it's a season for a reason. Actually, it's a season for a reason because of Jesus, but we'll get back to that. It is a season for a reason because there are a lot of things that happen during the holidays that are just magical and special and stuff you'll never forget. So one of the things that happened for me about 4 years ago now, during the holiday season, was my engagement. So I've gotten so many requests for this video, so I'm gonna start this journey. I was gonna make it an entire series at one point. I probably still will, but it's kind of difficult with everything going on. I know it's difficult to think about weddings at this point because some people are not getting to have the wedding that they always dreamed of. I know it may look a little different for each and every person, but it's content you guys still want. So I'm going to put it out there for you, and it'll still be here for you. If you are newly engaged, if you know someone that is newly engaged, this is the video for them. So stay tuned. I'm going to go from two different perspectives here. Those two different perspectives are: one, I'm a newlywed myself. I had my own wedding 2 years ago, and it was quite a journey. But perspective two, for those that do not know, I am a planner. So I plan events for a living. So I kind of have that nuanced perspective on what is important for your big day. And it's kind of been eating at my soul not to share that side of myself with you guys on this page, just because this is more about relationships in my personal life. But my career tends to meld itself into my personal life. I'm always the person people go to for what should I do for this, or how should I celebrate that? So why not do that here with you guys? Because it's something that correlates to our topics that we do on this channel. So if you want to know anything about all of that, stay tuned. So the very first tip I can give you, and actually let's backtrack. The very first thing that I can say if you're newly engaged, congratulations. I am so excited for you. Marriage is one of the best things you can do for your life. It's something you desire. Having a partner to share your life with, to make your mission on this earth and your purpose on this earth expand, is one of the best things, and marriage works if you work it. So let's start with that. That is my congratulations to all of my newly engaged couples during this holiday season. But actually, my very first tip kind of correlates back to my well wishes for you. My very first tip, number one, is enjoy your engagement. So I know that can be really, really difficult. It's a hard year for everyone, but find the joy in this moment. I mean, number one, anytime you get engaged, it's going to be one of the biggest moments of your life. Not because it's about the wedding, not because it's about any of these things. It is a commitment you're making to another person, and it is meant to be celebrated that you've gotten to this milestone with you and your partner and your future spouse. This is something to be commemorated. So don't skip over this step. A lot of people do and go straight into planning and they regret it. Like, I really enjoyed my engagement season, if you will. That's what I called it, because honestly, me and Carrie were engaged a year and a half. I did not want a long engagement, and honestly, a year and a half, almost 2 years, was long for me. It was long for him as well, but we had some other priorities of things we had to get done in order to prep for our wedding. And that really, at that time, was both of our careers were just so busy, but we knew we wanted to take that next step. So we truly enjoyed our engagement season. One of the things that we did to actually kick that off and really commemorate the occasion was we took a vacation. So we took a vacation. It was like a 3 or 4 or 5 day vacation, and we just washed ourselves in the engagement, fiance. I got the fiance gear. We got matching shirts. Like, that's just something we like to do, but you don't have to do that. We got matching shirts. We enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed the fact that we were newly engaged. We wanted to tell the world about it. And we didn't have no dates. We didn't have no time. We didn't have no budget. We just knew that we were getting married. We didn't know when. We had told all of our family at that point, but it was just like, I ain't got no details for you, sis. I ain't got no details for you, bro. No, I don't know if you're in the wedding. Sorry, just I'm enjoying my season, this with my future spouse. So that is my number one tip to you. And I know you're going to say, Simani, now look, you know, my aunties, my uncles, my cousin and them ain't having it. They want to know everything right now. Well, here's what I can help you do. One of the things that I'm really good at, and this is just one of my skills, I don't know why, I'm really good at articulating things and communicating in the most politically correct, in the most I love you, but say out my business way. Like, I am the queen of a good, concise response that does not require a follow-up. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a couple tips, because I know Aunt Karen gonna be over here asking you, well, when is it? No, let's just shut that down now. So let me give you a couple of resources and examples of how you can respond to your family during your engagement enjoyment season. You guys stay tuned to see how you can handle that nosy cousin that you don't want to talk to and you don't even know why they're related to you, but you love them anyway. But yeah, we're gonna help you with that. Have we set a date yet? Oh, no. But you know what? Actually, we were just talking about how your house would be perfect for the bridal shower. What do you think? Oh, you're not. Auntie, now you know we are so excited about our engagement. We've been enjoying it so much we haven't had time to plan it, so I'm sure you can understand. Gotcha. Oh, wait, what? The wedding? Are you gonna be in it? Look, now you know we're millennials. We barely have anybody at the wedding these days. I mean, it costs so much. What's the point? Like, I'll just have y'all show up and stand there. That's all we need, right? Just one good picture. I have y'all coordinate. We're so excited that you're excited about our big day, but no, we haven't set a date yet. So we're really focused on our marriage and not just the wedding day, you know? Cheers. Another thing I want to encourage you to do during your enjoyment engagement season is, as a bride, this is specifically for my brides, start looking into stuff. And I mean, by looking into it, we're not talking about getting like something serious, getting a plan. We're talking about just things that are just fun. One of the things that I found so fun during my time as a bride was looking at all of the other weddings and being inspired. Now, I am an event planner, so I have seen weddings. I have been inspired by all the different cultures that I've seen and just how they do things, what their traditions are throughout my career. But it was actually a little bit difficult when I was looking for melanin brides. So I don't know if anybody feels me on this, but Black brides are not as on the forefront as they should be. So I found it super helpful when I found these platforms on Instagram. And really Instagram was kind of my portal for seeing other brown Black brides that looked like me and how they celebrated their day, and what they did and what they wore and what they looked like and natural hairstyles and all of that. So this is your time to do that too. And so this part is supposed to be fun, not stressful, non-committal. If you say you like a hairstyle, it does not mean that that's what you're wearing for your day. It just means that, oh, I think that that's beautiful. So I really took the time on the plane ride on our vacation. Okay. Plane ride on the vacation. I went in the airport gift shop and I bought like a couple different magazines, and really looked through and was like, oh my gosh, I love this and I love that. That is completely fine. You will be overwhelmed by the amount of things that you see. Do not be discouraged. I know that there are a lot of things out there. You're going to want it all at some point, and then you're going to come back to reality. And that's fine. But you can pick a couple different things that you just love, that you were inspired by, and find a way to work that in. If you hire a planner, or otherwise or if you're a DIY bride, or if you're a plan it yourself bride, you can kind of find a way to work those things in. So just take it in, see what's beautiful about weddings, and enjoy this season. But definitely also, when I talk about going to that gift shop and that bookstore in the airport, there were no magazines with Black women on it for weddings. So actually those magazines were not with Black women in them. So once again, going back to all those different platforms that I saw, that I loved, that I, enjoyed during my time as a bride. So I'm gonna drop a few of them here. Loved them. So check those out when you get a chance, and see if those work for you. These are just some of the handles, some of the platforms that I loved as a bride. I hope as a Black bride as well, you will enjoy them and you will love them as much as I did if you are not already familiar. So, and if you have a few different platforms that you enjoy as well that showcase Black or brown brides, please let me know. I would love to share that with my audience. Don't keep it a secret, sis. I still am inspired by Black brides every day for my clients. So please send them my way. Send them on. So that was one of the very first things that I want you to know for your big day is start with enjoy. That is the very first tip that I can give you. You will not regret it. I promise you. So if you and your boo can take a trip, do that. Like enjoy the engagement without talking about the wedding. Just, you can be excited about the wedding, but don't ask about dates. Don't ask about who. Just enjoy the wedding and say, oh, look at all these different dreams we can have for ourselves for our future big day. That's it. That's the only commitment you have during that time. And other than that, let's go into tip number 2. Tip number 2. Come on. Tip number 2. Tip number 2. Come on. Tip. Oh, okay. Enough. All right. So tip number 2, this is the planner side of me. I'm sorry, it's got to come out. It is set a budget. Now that you've dreamed up the whole world, you need to get in them pockets. And also, if you have not had a conversation with your future spouse about your finances, this is not the time to have it. You should have had that conversation before y'all got engaged. Okay? Yes, I'm talking to you. If you want to be engaged, if you are planning on getting engaged and you have not had the finance conversation with your future spouse, pause this video and don't come back until you've done so. That's a direct order. Okay? I'm going to give you time. Yeah, it's you. Click out and have that conversation. All right, so for those that have had the conversation about finances with your future spouse, you should already kind of know where you guys are financially. I'm not saying you have to like print out bank statements. Not saying I did that, but I definitely knew my future spouse's financial standing. He also knew mine, so don't be like scared to share yours with your future spouse as well. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, okay? And neither one of them were free. So I had to have that conversation with my spouse. My student loan debt is real. I'm thanking the Lord one day, it'll just be wiped out. Y'all heard it here first, or the day that I celebrate when I paid that off. So just keep that in mind. We had those conversations about what things we have going on. Does your future spouse have a car note? All of that. But that's not what this video is about. We can talk about finances on another date and how you can kind of save for your wedding, how you can kind of have those conversations. Maybe I'll bring Carrie in for that video. But yeah, it's time to set a budget. So not only with setting a budget do you have to be conscious of the other person's pocket, but conscious of your future pocket together. So yeah, up until now, you might not have been sharing a bank account. You might not have been sharing finances. You might not have been doing any of that. Now, this may be a time for you guys to start blending a little bit more. You're not married yet, so I'm not saying go all out, but I'm saying this is the chance for you guys to start learning how to make decisions together financially. One of the rules we have in our house, which I love this. I mean, it's not even a rule. It's just a commitment we have to each other. Both of us is because I didn't want to have financial problems in my marriage. It was something that was really important to me. And so we focused on it early on in dating. So even before we got married, this is something that we implemented. Let me know if this is something you're thinking about implementing in your life. So the commitment that we made to each other was that anything over $100 we would discuss. So does that mean we're approving and disapproving? Maybe not. For us, yes, it's a conversation of, yeah, babe, go ahead and get it. You love it. Do it. For other people, just acknowledging that your financial goals together are important. So for us, anything over $100, it was a discussion. And I mean, it could be quick. It could be like, hey, babe, I'm buying this tech item that I love. Hey, babe, I'm buying a new light for my setup for my vlog. Whatever that looks like for you guys, do that. And it could be, you know, sis, I believe in wealth. So it could be everything over $1,000, okay? It could be that. But just know that that's one of the commitments we made to each other early on in our relationship. That way we could just know what's going on with each other. Like, you ain't just out here swipe, like, especially not going into a wedding. You can't be out here just swiping. So think about that and maybe implement that into your planning. So a couple of tips that I can give you for setting your budget is, and I don't want to have to tell you guys this, but it's pretty true. I mean, it varies based on city and all of that. Weddings range per person about $100 a person. Yes, marinate on that. Yeah, that's a good start. And that's more so just on the venue side. We're not talking about your dress, your accessories, we're not talking about that. We're talking about probably what you're going to spend on your venue is upwards of $100 per person. Because if you think about it, we live in Atlanta, so we live in the Southeast. A good entree for a dinner, a plated dinner, can run you anywhere from $50 to $60 to $75, depending on if you're having lobster and whatnot. On up to, higher than that, 85 once you get into the labor cost and the tip and all of that. That is kind of what weddings range. So how you manage that is up to you and your future spouse. But kind of keep in your mind those kind of numbers, so you're not sticker shocked when it's time to start shopping for venues and all of that. Also, when setting your budget, it is very important that you kind of know, and this is one of the things as a planner, I told you this is my planner mindset. You cannot have champagne taste on a beer budget. We're learning about marriage, okay? We're learning about compromise. So you have to be prepared to spend the money that you may or may not have at this point. You have to be prepared to spend the money to get what you're looking for. And if you're not, then you just have to be prepared to change your vision just a little bit. And that doesn't mean everything you want won't be there for your big day. It just means that you have to compromise. So if that means you have a beautiful venue, but then you can't decorate it like you wanted, you have to make those decisions, but it should be cohesive. You can't have a beautiful venue and nothing on the table. You could do that, but it's just not going to turn out the way you want it. So why not get the moderately, glamorous venue and then do, kind of middle of the road florals or whatever you decide to do for your centerpieces. That way your taste is consistent all the way through. Don't go for this huge ballroom, okay? And then just not have anything to fill it or make it look pretty. Another one of the things I always tell my future brides or even just family and friends is that your budget is what you make of it, okay? Do not feel obligated to spend money to please people. This is your day, and you, if you're not having your family help you, etc., this is your money. So if you decide to get married on a beach with 50 people, or married in a ballroom with 500 people, that is up to you. But setting that budget is so important. So I talked about how much you can kind of guesstimate. You're going to start with per person, and that's before all the extra stuff. So there you have that. Then 2, we talked about making sure your vision matches your budget, okay? And then also being flexible if what you wanted isn't what you can get. Like, you kind of talk about that. And also, one of the things you really have to do is sit down and calculate the numbers. So, example, I sat down with my future spouse, now my husband, Carrie, and we talked about, after we got off our engagement moon, fiance moon, that's what we called it, fiance moon. We sat down and we talked about, okay, this is how much I make a week. This is how much my bills cost. This is the money that I have for fun and spending. This is what I have in savings. This is how much I'm willing to give of my savings towards our future wedding. All of those different conversations, it may be different for you. But actually write down everything and then write down what your goal for saving is. I really encourage my brides and grooms to pay for their wedding. Don't go out and get this big card and just swipe away. I know for some people it may be difficult, but you will feel so much more accomplished if you pay for your wedding yourself. That's just my tip. I'm sorry, it is. So if you can do it and it is feasible for you, then do that. But don't start your marriage with a boatload of debt. Even if you're that type of couple that may need to finance part of it, don't go out here and finance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures of a wedding, okay? Save some money and then go from there. And then see what you can do to make it a good one. I mean, there are beautiful backyard weddings, all of that. So think about that as you go into planning. Okay, so we talked about tips 1 and 2. Let's go on to 3.